Yen penny for baby say, if you are seeing her, will be ma, will be check. Why not HL? So we'll pay IT, who they win ye, so we'll pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in ye, your office will Ghana, so ye, your numbers ni kuhono. So we should share IT classes, we have career coaching, we have support for business, cyber security. Free na your partner. Your back here wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence. Free is here baby be around me wow.
My name is Calibos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
All right, it was a fun mark about SVTV Africa, so share live on SVTV Africa. FM DJ Nyame Mobi Akwa. Thank God it's Friday. Unim say Fridays be a many wise man solicitors. Edin komo lawyer wisdom akaho. Edin komo. And it's all joining. I'll share live on YouTube at SVTV Africa. So soon you streaming live on Facebook, SVTV Africa. Inti update. Then so you can come where you can come into Ghana or UK. Tieni so. And then also UK for the every time information is very important. Yeah, TBB say, and yes, I won't say it. I only nam now share. Obi nyasem nko tie de ekoso UK na hu ne ekona started to look sharp to nyama yi. Ai nti ekotie lawyer wisdom aka wise man solicitors mamu share wo Facebook mun share YouTube so share ma unu bi omo UK omo Ghana. No muntie de ekoso UK nkomo na eba be di mami welcome lawyer me mo akwa boko de
me ho ye won so what is saying
me so me ho ye pa ene ya say share biom. Anyway, what about that? Yenko di tewe. Se bibia e okay dia. Class no so twen o students no twen. Enti we. Enti ne eko. O se den na esi UK de bia mo di bibiba den na esi. Ye twen. La ya sound nba o. Check o sound no. O Mike ni de say de bia me so ba beginning na. I say fe na warm me up. I say fe na warm me up.
Eba.
Sisi ade udemu enti e. E den na for UK.
That's it. Me ye chiao me gidi say ho ye de.
Me ho ye pa.
So ye say obi a ho ye da mo say. And then the everybody tell na yeah, we take one or two questions because we have commitments elsewhere. So DJ, briefly, just a few updates now to us soon. So we share Home Office review of your friend of statement of changes. Omodi Echo to Parliament, some person we answer here. Almost sign Ediba could be Echo to Parliament on the 14th of October 2025. And of course, Omodi a lot of changes are almost and see it's a lot of information, but maybe just a few. So then as time goes on, time now we deal with the other ones into more details. And on the 14th of October 2025, and Omodi changes no echo to Parliament. Your friend HC 1333. HC 1333, HC 1333, HC 1333, and only the where now changes somebody go to parliament. It is said, who person who can over to me Google now what enter you enter House Statement of Changes HC 1333 and evermore all the breakdown of all the changes that they want to take place. So first of all, about here, introduction of a visit visa requirement for nationals of Botswana. Previously, Botswana for Omo Bekrumha, they didn't have to go for visa, but Omo did in society because almost see a lot of Botswana nationals they come and claim asylum and almost in society but the introduction of visit visa requirement for nationals of Botswana. We are not from Botswana, we are from Ghana, but of course this is the changer air banning. I thought I should just mention it. And we are one. The other one, a change that has to do with requirements for requirement changes to English language requirements. Now, Usha, so see, I can say, Obi Ewo Krumha na oppressor or application. It depends on routes. Also, there are some of the routes or the routes that you have to provide English language requirement. So, partner route niswa. You have to do English language requirement. You have to meet the English language requirement level A1 if you are coming from outside the UK to the UK. Yes, score level A1. Whilst in the UK, you have to do level A2. But we'll share other categories in terms of economic routes now, economic migration routes, which entails people who are on skilled worker visas. And so it's a skilled worker, high potential individual, and scale up routes. Now, they also have to meet the English language requirements at a certain level. I'm only level B1. I'm the skilled worker route, so level B1 equivalent. But Usha, the changes now home office for the Aquaco Parliament and a government in the Aquaco Parliament say they want to change it from B1 to B2 and to say, oh, but with a skilled worker, another skilled worker route, you will be meeting the requirement of B2. And that will change from the 8th of January 2026. So please take note of that. New requirements will apply to those seeking an initial grant of leave in a relevant route following the implementation of these provisions on the 8th of January 2026. So the implementation will start on the 8th of January 2026. If you are on a skilled worker route and you want to come in or you want to apply to come in on the skilled worker route, you have to meet the B2, no longer B1. Those who have already obtained permission or where they were required to show the B1 will continue to be dependent on that. So before the changes happen, so the old style, so and you were required to show the B1 now. The law and the changes now say you will still continue to use the B1. But back from the 8th of January, or my application from the 8th of January 2026, they have to meet the B2 requirement. Now, so we'll share it clearly states economic migrants, that is economic migration routes. It didn't state family. We will go more into details with the specifications. What is the requirement for the family route? So I will have to take more time, go into that, and then I can confirm. Say, your family route, are we still going to continue on that route, or we also have to scale up to meet the 2026 requirement from the 8th of January to B1, B2. So I would give you further information as we go along in the weeks. So that is it. Now, apart from Anono, yenim se omo krom ha omo under the graduate route no so. Abia waba to the university, waba your first degree, 1 year course, what qualify, you've passed and you've passed successfully. Now you want to go onto the graduate route. So what we know is that the amount 2 years in the UK. You amount 2 years now in the UK in a graduate route level. Graduate route level no. I know sooner I know over to in the UK. Now, Sir Usha near Omodi Airbus say, I think sometime is it this early part of last year or early part of this year or so. Omodi consultations be as to whether the government should scrap to cancel the graduate route. No, and they should continue it. And a MAC, Migration Advisory Committee, advise Home Office for say they should not cancel it. But Home Office decided say almost changes to the 2 years now. Almost say from the 1st of January 2027, they are going to reduce the time from 2 years to 1.5 years. From 2 years to 1.5 years. Yes, from 2 years to 1.5 years. Until from January, I'll say after January 20, the change to 18 months will apply to applications submitted on or after 1st January 2027. Until we any application as a graduate from 1st January 2027, you will not be put on the 2-year graduate route, but you'll be given 1.5 years. I still think better than say they'll scrap the whole thing. So that is for your information. It is still better than them scrapping the whole thing. So it's going to change from 2 years to 18 months, which is 1.5 years from January 2027. Now, younger PhD, no, no, will still carry on with the 3 years. You will still carry on with the 3 years postgraduate leave. No, now wait to me now wait to me Juma. But it has to be following a successful completion of your course. So that is what it is. And then also change to replace Part 9 grounds of refusal with Part suitability. I must say, Part 9 grounds of refusal, that is what details all the basis on which Home Office makes refusal decisions. Now, that is different from near EWO under the Appendix FM. So now they are saying Appendix FM, they are flexible, and they want to merge all, then it's going to be called Part suitability. Part suitability. So we are also waiting to see what more changes are as time goes on. Another very important change urban for seasonal workers. Younger to pick fruits, to work as butchers, or to work for a short period. No, usually you have a certain number of months you have to spend in the UK. We are wait me your application. Now I sign back as a seasonal worker. Now almost see changes are being made to the rules concerning the number of months a seasonal worker must be outside the UK before being permitted to apply for a new seasonal work visa. These changes will permit seasonal workers to spend no more than 6 months working in the UK during any rolling 10-month period, rather than any rolling 12-month period under the previous provisions. And back with a seasonal working visa, you can work for, let's say, 6 months. You have to spend some time out of the country before you can apply to come back in. System for ABS 4 months, 5 months, another application. Now I back. So almost within 10 months, you shouldn't spend more than 6 months in the UK. Previously, within 12 months, you shouldn't spend more than 6 months. So say within 10 months, you can't spend more than 6 months. It means within 10 months, who's spending 6 months, you go, you have to wait for a longer period before you can apply to come back to the UK as a seasonal worker. So that is also a change. As all part of the changes the UK is looking at. Then also, there is another major change, which I know from interpretation is creating a bit of confusion, but it will be resolved. I know it has to do with EU settlement scheme for no younger EU settlement scheme. Now, on the basis of ABA papa and our mame and our warrior and our UK, usually about 5 years pre-settled status. Now, Ukra 5 years pre-settled status now. It is expected that Ubet Nakroma for 5 years now. You shouldn't have spent more than 6 months continuously for certain categories, but there are other categories, ABA now equal for childbirth, for education, and also for some other reason which is specified. In that case, you can be out for more than 6 months, which is up to 1 year. Now, I'm not able in and out to the extent that they are not able to meet the 5 years period. And almost the clarification be upper. Almost see the changes to clarify. The drafting of the change made from the 16th of July 2025 by Statement of Changes HC 836, enabling a holder of pre-settled status under the EUSS to be granted settled status where they have been resident in the UK for at least 30 months in total in the most recent 60-month period. In the most recent 60-month period. And no, from my understanding, near almost say about 5 years pre-settled status. No, wait, 5 years now. Within that 5 years now, I mean, after what 5 years, so wait me actually say what's now for 30 months out of that 5 years, which is 2.5 years out of the 5 years. You will be able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain, which means that in and out in poor. If you can show that you've been in the UK for 30 months within the past 60 months, you are able to apply for your stay in the UK indefinitely. So this interpretation is giving a lot of confusion from all sides. People are saying that it means the first 2.5 years, you are able to go for indefinite leave, even though you haven't done the 5 years. Some other school of thought says you have to finish the 5 years, and if you can prove the 2.5 years within the 5 years, you then go for your indefinite. I am of the second school of thought that you have to do the 5 years, and then within that 5 years, you have to prove the most recent 30 months, then you can go for your indefinite. In any case, we are subject to further inquiries and checks. We would update you as we go along. So that is what it is. The other update now has to do with younger as students. If you are coming as a student, now previously they have another threshold for determining their maintenance. So say no some of the foreign students maintenance requirement to meet the same funds to themselves. This level of fund is aligned with the maintenance loan available for home students. Somebody to the same level of maintenance loans are home students. If you're a foreign student, they want to align it so that your maintenance requirement will be the same as the maintenance requirement for home students. And also, we will see what the details are. It says this level of funds is aligned with the maintenance of loans available for home students, which is reviewed every year. This change increases the mental requirements to match the mental loans available for home students for the 2025-2026 academic year. We will ensure it continues to align with home student maintenance loans in the future. Honestly, we have updated the maximum amount for the accommodation offset in line with the changes to the maintenance requirement. The accommodation offset allows students to demonstrate less maintenance funds if they have paid a deposit for their accommodation in the UK. So all in all, there are going to be some changes with regards to the maintenance, and of course in line with the student loan requirement for younger students, home students. So please take note of that. Again, there are a few other changes, like I've mentioned: German student group travel, etc., etc. Changes to the Ukraine permission extension scheme, and other ones which are not too relevant to us. So, Usha, all in all, there have been some proposals, and there are going to be some changes from when this gets implemented very soon. As let's all take note of it. Changes to the visit visa for Botswana nationals, recognition of Palestine, changes to the visa national list, German school groups, travel, easing travel requirements for German schools group visiting the UK, change to the validity requirements in appendix temporary permission for victims of human trafficking, introduction of dependents for stateless people, changes to the English language requirement for economic migration routes, high potential individual targeted and capped expansion of eligibility, change to reduce the duration of stay under the graduate route to 18 months, change to allow students to transition to the innovator founder route, which is very important, change to replace part 9 grounds for refusal with part suitability, and change to family and private life rule with the common suitability rules for refusal, and then amendments to Appendix FM, Appendix Private Life, Appendix Adult Dependent Route, and Appendix Settlement Family Life. Change to Appendix Temporary Work, Regional Seasonal Workers. So a lot of changes will be coming into effect. But near FIA hono, and so briefly. So DJ, that is where we are. You know that as for us, every now and then the rules change. So I'll put it there. Let's all be aware. English language requirement is going to change. And of course, say Kaya recently, Nigel Farage, Kaya said, so or no already prime minister, certain things are going to change, especially the indefinite leave period is going to change. And of course, because of that, prime minister so added some changes by with regards to English language. You should be working to be eligible for indefinite leave. You should be contributing to pensions to be eligible for indefinite leave. You should, of course, be volunteering in your community to be eligible for the indefinite leave. You should have clean criminal record. So all these are some of the changes that are going to come into effect. If the proposals take place and they are accepted, those changes will take into effect. So that is where we are today with regards to the changes. And then I just want to briefly talk about visit visas. Christmas, but we are in October, November, December. So we just have about 2 months to go. We have about 68 days to go to the end of the year. Say, Abia, papa, mame, brother, sister, nuabi, uba, was university, etc., etc. During the Christmas period. So we want to inquire. You want them to come and visit you. You want, of course, to make an application and be confident that the application will succeed, especially visit visa for them to come and visit you. Now, again, Mamenka, and from the very beginning said, visit visas are not guaranteed. Visit visa applications are not guaranteed. There is no guarantee. Say we have visit visa application yet the ebemao. No guarantee. It all depends on how that will determine whether you have a good chance of succeeding or not. You can have all the money in the world, but the Home Office can decide to refuse your visit visa. You can prove everything that you can. The Home Office can still decide to refuse your visit visa. So I just always want to tell my clients that visit visas are not guaranteed. A visa application is not guaranteed, but you make it with all the evidence you have, and then hopefully they take it into account. And once they are persuaded or they believe that you will go back, then they make a decision. So, what is the first thing a caseworker is looking for? Sir, Uber visit visa application. What is the first thing they're looking for? Yes, sir, Uber sign ako back to your country. Uber sign ako. Because who say you are coming to visit, one castle you are coming to stay. We've treated this topic before, but I just want to go over it because Christmas is coming and you may want to come and visit. What will show say Uber sayako? A ding and a chere say Uber sayako because and no and na omo person omo hwe say Uber sayako. A ding and a chere a ding na wodi be chere say Uber sayako. Number one, they look at your social life, they look at your economic, social, your economic, your family, your religious, and your assets. All of those things they look at. And let's look at the economic lifestyle. Uye juma. Sika sang and a wujie. Sikana wujie no. Sang and I will say for your day-to-day food, travel, bus, travel card, fuel, and everything. And to uji X amount, how much do you spend for your everyday monthly expenses? What do you spend? Now, utinia uspani efinia unyanumwa signa ebekamawo. Sasikana ebekano. Convert it into pound sterling. Let me say a saying and ebekamawo. Now, with that, how much savings do you have? So let me use raw figures. Assuming you take 10,000 Ghana a month, your monthly expenses is, let's say, 7,000 Ghana. Aka was saying, aka 3,000 Ghana. 3,000 Ghana, no, uwo, ebia 30,000 Ghana in your savings, which means you had to save the 3,000 Ghana for 10 months and send one yasa 30,000 Ghana. And see, we'll see Uber for holiday for maybe 3 weeks. And the amount you're coming to spend in the UK would cover the whole 30,000 Ghana. So I will see, how would you want to come and spend your 10-month savings for just 3 months and go back? So they look at that and say, well, we don't believe, sir, you will save for 10 months, come and just spend it for 3 weeks, and then go back to go and start all over again. Ubi baka say farm home and farm home near farm home say omusha unyo bia uba ubasako. And the second uji import 10,000 Ghana uji no almost convert into pound sterling and see how much is it in pound sterling. Now say okay, ABI is just around 500 pounds and now 600 pounds and now 700 pounds. Almost say 700 pounds here. Yeah, in this Ubi just 700 pounds equivalent. Uber UK, Uber Sako, because we don't believe that should you come, you will go back. So let's just do a quick calculation. I don't know what the rate is today. I don't know what the rate is today, but let me quickly do some conversion and see if maybe that will make it easier or clearer for us. Okay. So we have the rate is, let's see, £1 is 14.43 from the top is 14.43. All right. So let's do 10,000 Ghana. 10,000 Ghana is 693 pounds a month. Into Obia Orji 10,000 Ghana cedis no. Yeah, the pounds more is 693 pounds. Now 693 pounds. No, how much do you spend? Abia, you spend about 400 pounds. Now I was saying 293 pounds. Now the Home Office will say they don't believe, say, why would this asekano uba obasako? So what do? Make sure, sir, your savings is so high, higher than whatever amount you take a month. So if you have savings, there is no fixed amount. But if you have savings of maybe 5,500, 7,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds equivalent, then that shows there will be what's sikano. And yeah, dear, very likely so about over. So the higher your savings, most likely, I mean, I would normally say the least you should have is 4,500. Some people have 3,500, but their income is higher. They have 3,500, their income is higher. But if your income is not that high, then make sure you have at least 4,500, 5,500 pounds equivalent in your bank statement to show so. So that is one. What is your position? How much do you earn? How much do you spend? How much is left for you? How much savings do you have? They look at all of this to make a decision. Until your savings is low, you have a very low chance of being successful. Your savings is higher, your chances of success are higher. So take that into account. Number two, so would the cash payments into the accounts now and also would damage your evidence. Men fact cash and go to account now I'm closing balance now you're high. Almost say it's because of person to quantity and don't take and I would to account to create or to boost up your balance. And just as a can you would dear, ABO basic kind of wakoji ediako to account just to boost your balance, your balance sheet or your closing balance to make sure they don't want to accept that. They don't believe that the money is your money, and they don't believe that it is money that has actually is for you. Maybe you just put it in there. So please take note of cash deposits. And also, they want you to explain every cash deposit or any money you put into your account. You must be able to annotate your accounts and say where that money is coming from. Bia, we are Juma with a bank, or we are Juma as an accountant. Yes, you take 10,000 Ghana, but you have some other businesses. Bia, you have block making factory, or you have pure water factory, or you have something else, or you have some fish pond, or you have you grow fish. Now, if that is a registered business, you have all the paperwork, and you put money cash into the account from that business, you have to make notes on your account. And now in the cover letter say, these cash deposits are from the sales of the blocks from my block factory. Or this cash deposit is from my rental property. I have properties in Ghana. I have a lot of them. And so me give me rent now. I take it in cash and I put it into the account. But it means that you should be able to provide the documents of the properties that you have from which you make the rental income. You have to provide that as well. If you can prove that and prove the source of the funds, then of course you are in a very good position to be successful with your visit visa application. And again, you're an accountant. You work for more than 2 companies, or you work at your regular place and you have some other small businesses you do accounting for them. Of course, as a Saudi announcer to account more, you have to annotate say, I am an accountant working with X and B so and so company, but I also work on private basis as a private client basis for X and C small businesses. This is how much they pay me. With the sign on edit tomorrow, you have to make note of all the money that is going to your account in terms of cash, and then you have a good chance. Make sure your withdrawal from your accounts, the kind of every month, is equivalent or it matches the amount I would do. If your withdrawal is more than what actually goes into your account, there's a big question mark there. So please take note of that as well. So very important. That is just for your economic, to show that you're financially sound. That is your financial situation. So please take note of that. You need to prove 6 months pay slip, 6 months bank statement, a letter from your employer stating your position and everything to support your application. Obi baka na me nye juma, me ma me nye juma, me den so umami enye juma, una will support na. Feel free to make the application, present it. Mamuntia says that the old lady is not working. I support her, but she's only coming for a visit to visit me and go back. Nothing stops you. Feel free and still make the application, but explain it. that doesn't mean she will be refused. Neither does it mean she will be granted. It still stands at 50-50. So, say, old lady in Yejuma, or your petty trading, tabletop trading, you can still make application for her, but explain that she doesn't have income. When I will support them. It may succeed, it may not succeed. Remember, visa applications cap with 50-50 chance of success. 50-50. It can go either way. So please take note of that. So that is that. We are self-employed in SUA. Take note of that. Self-employed, where you do your own business, maybe you have a pharmaceutical shop or you have something you do, please make sure it is a registered business. Make sure you have the business account. Make sure say your own personal account, and you are paid from the business into your account. You are paid from the business into your account. If every month the business pays you 15,000 Ghana and not 20,000 Ghana, on the 28th of every month or on the 25th of every month, make sure that money leaves the account of the business into your personal account. Obibaka says it's too late now. Yes, it's too late because we had treated it some time ago. So I would have expected that the homework would have been done. But if that is not the case, you can still present what you have and hope that it will be successful once you have presented the strongest possible evidence that you have. Just open your mind, have an open mind that it can go either way. Don't be too sure, because as for visit visas, it can do anything. It can do anything. It can go anywhere. So please know, if you're self-employed, have your business account, have your personal account. Let there be money from your account, payment from your business to yourself. And you have to use your personal account, the breakdown of money in, money out. Who they are not ebeye with me the business account, and so they are supporting na achiresa ampa. You are in good financial standing now with your application. Again, if you have properties, you have some rental properties, you get money from those things. Wait a minute, these are documents to see the account. It is again not a guarantee that you'll be granted. People can have all the documents and all the properties in Ghana and still come and not go back. So having the properties alone is not a guarantee. So yes, you can still add the documents to it anyway. But again, like I'm saying, it's not a guarantee that you will be granted. So if you have houses, you have businesses, you can add all of this. So that is what it is. I've talked about different ones. If you are married, now we look at your family life. If you are warrior, but made you marriage certificate, of course, and who emofran, wait made the emofran details. My mom is a saber form, so access and you are a family person, and because of that, your grandchild, your child, and your stepdaughter, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, your daughter, and the husband, your daughter, and the husband, your son, and the wife. You just coming to visit them and then go back to Ghana. Just show that you are coming to visit. So please, these are the things you will need. We are Mami Penying, who are sorry, who Methodist Church, who Presby Church, who Pentecost, who Catholic Church, who ICGC, who Action, all assemblies, all those ones. Now we are very active in the church. We might make a letter from the church as well to show the role you play. It also shows your connection to the society in terms of your religious life. Again, it is not a guarantee that you'll be granted. You can add this to it. And of course, as a Christian, you can pray. Or if you're a Muslim, you can also take a letter from your mosque to say how much work you do, the involvement again, and you also pray that there'll be a good outcome for you. So these are some of the things you need: your assets, your relationship life, your documents to support it, your family life, your economic life, your social life. Maybe you are in a group, some association, be almost on letter. You can add all of this. You can add everything and submit your application. Then they will assess it and determine whether you will be a uba and a wonko. Then they make a decision. Now, who are ubano? Wuna maka with documents. Sa pay slips, bank statement, letter from employer, etc., 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 marriage certificate, children certificates, etc. Now, we invite the old lady and that old man said, now, our university, what do you have to provide? One, you have to provide a copy of your passport. I tell you, who was sitting down. So, who was sitting down 2.5 years? Who me invite you, mommy, who papa, who me invite you. Who indefinite? Who me invite you? Who be answer omra kromha amabesra. Who citizenship, British citizenship, you can still invite somebody. We are EU national, you can also still invite. So you can invite as long as who are sitting now with Chrome, who me invite you say and of course you can add a copy of your passport and a copy of your biometric permit. If that is what you still have as proof that you have the right to be in the UK, you can add that. But me do 6 months pay slips into the account to show say I'm so you can add your 6 months pay slips to support that application. And of course, your tenancy agreement so will be say mama ba or to spend some time with you and the family. If you have children, you have grandchildren, you have young children, and grandmother is coming to see them, you can even add copies of these documents to the application. If you want grandmammy, muya FaceTime, you can take screenshots of baby and grandma doing FaceTime. If you have the baby in your hand doing grandma FaceTime, you take screenshot. All those who show that there is some connection between, or there's some communication between you and grandma who wants to come and visit, or grandpa who wants to come and visit, your sister who wants to come and visit, your brother who wants to visit. Take all of these pictures and support the application as well. And of course, with Metro invite letter of invitation for them to come to visit you. So all in all, you are able to make the visit visa application if all the documents are there. Do it with everything you have, the strongest evidence you have, but have an open mind and don't take it that by all means you'll be granted. It doesn't work that way with visit visa application. It can go left, it can go right. Do it with all the documents, and it is always good to throw a cover letter to explain why we invite you, Mameno. Do a brief cover letter. Why uba abesra ubanonsono. Why gasabet me draw something small to say, yes, I'm just coming to visit my daughter and to see my grandkids for the first time, spend some time with them, do some shopping as well, and then go back to Ghana to live the rest of my life. If you can do this, then you have a very good chance of your application being considered. It will be considered if they are satisfied. Now wait to me. Now sign a call back. So why application bidder? Your refusal. You have to be mindful of that and disclose that in the next application. Now, one can say your refusal that they will find out on the refusal. Why is it false document bidder? They are banned 10 years and then there's no point even doing it at all. Just wait until the exclusion period is over before you make that application. So please take notes. So connection might be put now you have not had any decision. One can't just say I refuse to any mawa. Who can date now we are here? Still put it on the application form. Say you made application maybe in the year, but you can't remember the date, the day and the month, but you can remember the year. Still put it on the form. Once you put it on the form, they cannot use that against you. And then you can proceed. So DJ, briefly, and Nadia is just very, very brief to give updates and then to let's talk about this visit visa options. Now, if there are 1 or 2 questions, I can take it and then I can run off. Thank you. Nana Owusu. Hello, Nana. I came with visitor's visa. I got married to an EU citizen and I got my settlement this year. Congratulations to you, January. So please, when can I do my naturalization? All right. Good. You came in legally as a visitor. Fantastic. And you overstayed, I believe, before you got married to an EU national. Whether you overstayed or not, at least you came in legal. That's the most important thing. You got your settlement this year. Now, normally what will happen is you have to wait for 1 year after the settlement before you go for your citizenship. 1 year after the settlement before you go for indefinite leave before you go for your citizenship. So at least 1 year. But if you look at the requirement for citizenship, the good character requirement, it talks about those who have overstayed and those who came in unlawfully. Please take note of that. Go to the good character requirement. Those who have overstayed, yes, you can be granted. It's the provision is there, but those who came in illegally says no. Yours, you came in legally, therefore you should be able to apply for your citizenship. But please take note of the good character requirement, but at least it has to be 1 year on top of the indefinite. So that will be January next year. January next year. Rodi Ando, hi. When I got my first Ghana passport, my date of birth was wrong. Since then, I've become a British citizen. Now I know my real date of birth. How easy will it be to change all my documents? Thank you. Thank you too. This is a very, very good question and very important. Not just good, but very important question, because I've had to do with a few people who have this problem, who've had this problem. Now, if your date of birth was wrong in your passport, it means that you presented a birth certificate that had the wrong date of birth. Now, if you found the right date of birth, it again means that you need to produce the original document which indicates the correct date of birth. And that document should be contemporaneous to the time that it was issued. Example, if you were born in 1965 and your birth certificate which you got shows you're 1975, let's say the 1st of January 1965, you were born on the 1st of January 1965, but your birth certificate says 1st of January 1975. That is 10 years difference. Now, you have now found the correct birth certificate or the correct detail which says you were born on the 1st of January 1965. That document should be issued in 1965, not 2025. So the document you have to present to show that you were born on the 1st of January 1965, before they will consider changing anything, that document should date back to 1965, not 2025. So if you can produce the document, the original document, corresponding to the time you were born, then you have a chance. You have to swear an affidavit, take it to the Ghana High Commission with the original document. Then they will have to change the passport to the correct date of birth. And then again, you apply to the British passport people with the correct documents dating back to 1965 before they will consider that. If the document you want to rely on is not contemporaneous to the time of the birth, they will not accept it. I have done this for somebody before. They will not accept it unless the document dates back to when it was issued at the time of birth. So if you have anything like that, then of course, yes, it's worth pushing forward with it. Thank you very, very, very much. Hi, similar to Nana Wusu, came as a child of an EU citizen and got settled status few months later after. When is the right time for me? Now, if you came as a child, you don't have too much of a problem. So you should, after 1 year after having your indefinite leave, that makes it 6 years, you should be eligible to apply for your citizenship, subject to other requirements. I mean, of course, you can give me more information and I'll be able to tailor the advice for you. Evans Arthur, hi, I have a child whose mother is on pre-settled. I'm not married to the mother. Can I use my child to seek residency? Well, if the child's mother has pre-settled status, based on, I don't know which route, is it based on the grandfather, the grandmother, the spouse, etc., etc.? I need to know how or on what basis the child's mother got the pre-settled status. Now, once I know the basis on which the child's mother got the settled status, I will then work it backwards. If the child's mother got in pre-settled status and the child's mother was married or is married to a person who has indefinite leave, then that child should be eligible for indefinite. Once the child gets indefinite, it's easier for you to apply based on the rules outside, let's say HRO, human rights outside the rules. If the child's mother got their stay through their mother or their father, or that is a child's grandparent, and they have indefinite, yes, you can then apply for indefinite for the child as well. Once the child has indefinite, your chances of getting your stay very, very strong. So please let me know on what basis the child's mom has the pre-settled status, and that will help me again to tailor my advice to your situation. Thank you. Jones Brefo, hello, Mr. Brefo. It is saying, I have a business account, but it's a rural bank. Can I still? Of course, rural bank is as good as any other account. So, a bank, a legitimate bank, documents no whole, account no whole, details whole, entries and assets whole. Bibia whole pepe penti. Only how wet me use the bank, rural bank account. No, a bank that is recognized in Ghana. So and also okay, my brother, go ahead. Matilda Dodu. I'm a student in the UK with 2 kids. Can I choose not to put them on my postgraduate visa because they won't travel? Please, will it cause any problem? Now, the thing is this: I want to know how old the kids are. The reason I want to know how old the kids are is this: if the kids are not put on your postgraduate visa, they would become illegal in the UK. If in 7 years' time, they will still be under 18 years, then you can apply for them to stay 2.5 years. Please take it again from me. If they overstay, in 7 years' time, they will still be under 18 years old, then you can apply for leave for them to be in the UK. Not a problem. However, if in 7 years' time they will be more than 18 years, then they will have to show they've spent half of their life in the UK. It's a tricky calculation. So my advice is this: take a pen, take note of their age, add 7 years to their age, and see if they'll be under 18 years. If that is the case, then you don't have to spend thousands of pounds making an application for children who are not going to go anywhere. They are not going to travel. They are not going to work to bring in money. So please consider that very, very carefully. Okay? It's going to cost thousands of pounds if you want to put them on the postgraduate route. And remember, after 2 years, you have to find another source of or another option to regularize your stay anyway. So please take all of that into account. Kwekuku, say hi. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Please, 20 years private life application is approved, but the passport is still with them. How long does it take them to return it? You have to request it sometimes. Normally within 10 to 20 working days, they should return it, but sometimes request it. Online, go to document request or request here to return the passport to you. Or maybe say, are you canceling your application? Tick no. And they ask you what's the purpose for the request. You tell them I've been granted 2.5 years limited leave to remain based on a 20 years long residence. However, my passport has not been returned. Can you please return my passport to me? They'll return it to you. So please go online, do document request from the Home Office. They will bring it back to you. Good evening, DJ and lawyer. Hi, good evening, Kofi. Can my partner and British-born baby travel outside the UK for 2 months while after I have submitted and done my biometrics dependent on my baby? Yeah, of course, based on your baby. Of course, they can travel. They don't have any restrictions to not to travel. It's you that I would say, if you don't have the right, even if you have the right, once you put in an application, please do not travel if you have an application in the Home Office, because once you travel, it will be deemed that you have withdrawn the application. So do not travel. They can travel, but you don't go until you have been granted your 2.5 years limited leave to remain. Thank you very much. Evans Alpha, hi. The mother got the pre-settled state through use of marriage, but the marriage is broken down. Okay, in that case, the mother can apply for the same pre-settle for the child as well. And then you can also make an application up FLRHRO. FLRHRO. That is further leave to remain, human rights, other, or outside the rules. You can make that application. It is not guaranteed that you'll be granted. It is discretionary. They assess your situation to determine whether they should give it to you or not. So it is not guaranteed. However, if you can wait for the mother to get her indefinite leave to remain, once she gets her indefinite, the child will be registered as a British citizen. Your position is almost guaranteed. So that would be my advice for you, bro. Thank you. Andrew Nti Abuaji, hello. How much does DNA cost? We have different companies that provide DNA for people who apply for it. There are different ones. We use Atolife. It ranges between 450 onwards, depending on the number of people who are doing the DNA. Some other ones, Cellmark, and other ones vary. So you need to check which company you want to use. Call them. They'll give you the quotation, and then you can proceed with that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, lawyer.
Thank
I think
you.
it's nearby, and then I'm to screen this. Lawyer,
Grateful.
maybe a new obium there. One can also appointment be near the NT. As I said, now the quick we are brain, wise man solicitors. We are brain, quick. I mean, say, I think, sir, back when I'm in New York, to lawyer the answer, we'll move in and sign out.
Anthony, my missus is on 2-year spouse visa. She hasn't worked since she came due to childcare. Please, can I still renew the document with my pay slips and marriage certificate? Me being a British, you being a British, yeah, me being a British, yes. Of course, 100%. You are British. She is here. It was your finance based on which she came. She is here. She doesn't have to work. As long as you are working and you can meet the financial threshold, she's okay. No problems at all. But just make sure she has proof of address, document to show that she's living the same address with you for the 2 years. Otherwise, she'll have some difficulties. But finance-wise, if you are working, you meet the financial threshold, you're good. She's good. Thank you. If you are granted settled status after 3 months of coming to the UK as a child of an EU national, can you naturalize after a year? Or you have to wait for 5 years? It depends on your age. It depends on your age. If you are under 13 years, you don't have to really be here for any number of years. If you're between 13 to, I think, 16 or so, you have to be here for 2 years or so. It's quite some time. I went to that reference, guidance note. I have to look at it again. If you are 18 years and above, you have to be here for 5 years. So I need to know the age to determine whether you come another immediate one or you have to wait for 5 years before you can go for your citizenship. J Dazzle TV, I have met a lady in the UK who came with a certificate of sponsorship and she is now divorced. Can I marry her in the UK with my indefinite leave to remain without necessarily going to Ghana? Of course. We have 3 types of marriages in Ghana. We have the ordinance, we have the customary marriage, and then we have the, my brothers, the Muslims one. So, yes, Ghanaian customary marriages are acceptable in the UK. You do not have to go to Ghana to get married. As long as the families will do the ceremony and everything on your behalf, they will swear the statutory declaration, go to AMA or KMA or Kufridia or Ho or Takrady Metropolitan Assembly, swear the affidavit, statutory declaration, get a certificate, take it to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then from there take it to judicial service or judicial service before Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You have all this paperwork in them. The people who represented you, their Ghana card or their passport copies, everything together. After everything, the registrar will add a letter to it, I'm sure even somewhere before they take it to all those places. Bring it to the UK, submit the application. You don't have to go to Ghana. She doesn't have to go to Ghana. You can make the application here, but check the documents well because sometimes there are a lot of errors on them. Make sure the documents are done properly, the names are spelled properly, the names match the ones on the ID and everything, the address and everything, the technicalities, everything is complied with, then you should be good to go. DJ, thank you.
Okay, lawyer Wisdom Akao, wise man solicitors, yeah, that's it. And then the Abegu office location, London, Dawson Junction.
Wise smart solicitors. Wise smart solicitors. Wise smart solicitors. You were Dawson Junction. You were suite 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, suite 8 to 9. 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the print house. Print house. We print letters, send it to the Home Office, and then they give you your visa. We don't print the visas, but we print the letters with ink on it, with our argument. We send it to the Home Office, and then they give you your leave to be here. 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, 8 to 9, the Print House, Dalston Junction, London, E83DL. E83DL. Telephone numbers 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. Mobile number is 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. You walk behind the McDonald's close to the Dalston Market. We'll do what? If you ask for us or you just call us on any of these numbers, you have more direction. No waba, you better show. So I will let you know. Now, DJ, next week, Nyame Aduma make us about 20 years long residence and our problems are faces to say. A few years ago, we don't have too many problems, but now saying Home Office, what age did you come with? What was the age on your previous passport? Who could be a GP, age ben document ben hina documents now the Home Office has become very, very picky on some of these small things. And applications before using different names that the person has used. So say they want to refuse it or they are refusing them. So we need to go back and correct certain things, or not correct, but arrange certain things properly. And to why 20 years need DNB, they are refusing one. You are not alone. What you can do is sit down, come back. We take time to go through and see how best to resolve this 20-year problem. A idea almost started refusing Crawford Palm. First, no, you can prove it, you'll be fine. So say no, even though the law is still there, would you be the Juma? You want to find a way to say who crowd by now when and so na chroma now would you be the Juma is not bebre now person with not say refuse. But you refuse appeal, and then you have a good chance of going to. So 20 years next week, God willing, 20 years we'll address it and see how best we can proceed. Ufra, uba, show. Every year we'll let you know. Any year we'll let you know. If it is 10%, I'll let you know. If it's 50-50, I'll let you know. If you have a good chance, more than 50, I will let you know. That is what we do. We don't get it right all the time, but we try to minimize the risk of refusal in these applications. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Okay. Back next week.
Lawyer, one mochum. Lawyer Wisdom Akao na mutie no wise man solicitor. Now lawyer the sellers na make catch. I don't mean got to be man so 20 years. meaning krata metiwa 20 years and son waka jem say o me krata eno so krata no be me kro be giska no amount 2.5 lawyer nyama bi wa me ti microphone bi ase chale lawyer sama me kenju because that Brony Club 20 years na meaning krata si aso me bo anya si aso na modem mra ba share code mudi ha adwin uni doku uni doku dia we mobo afi na ko obi doku no kura no po na medwuma kura na ho nyina popo yes sisi a share code ye board ni se tata e body na e ba picture ne ba ni a show ni a show yes wanya lock kura ni a friend police form or immigration atiti be kura Africa Africa oh lawyer never be wa now nam kra na we bi hihye wo wo salu we wote siren kra na baby wo now we mu hihye because edokunu nya wo dia ayasem o ayasem lawyer wisdom aka me da say nyame adoma next week ebekasa mutie lawyer wisdom aka straight from UK wise man solicitors so wetin me contact no very good lawyer or your being frankas on dey otono we no a teacher on dey otono bo church no bisa the question on otono bo pa no you need one and yes on lawyers that particular no or can you confused no I obremba we mu no otono bo ka no breaking it down so na obeti ase e dey form me na wan say mo share SVTV Africa Obasa oba mi show no so bia me amanfo di nkomo worldwide wo Ghana wo to kwan wo experience me ha me tie stories esua dey on platform no so ti so share on Facebook o share na streaming on Facebook live o share on YouTube me dey me numbers there o Facebook your number ba ko +233 2406778898 and ko YouTube page no so your two numbers to go +244 790902 +233 244 790902 and that's a +233 240 6778898. Link up with Ghana business link. Minimum year business is think come on. Now, and then I will see. I don't know what film or story into is there. It's with me link up. Madam, I some share. And my class one shout out. Matilda Dodu. Matilda. Next time with the message by any once. But me say repeat it. Matilda Dodu me that say. Is it Pumping Illuminati? Big shout out to you, Kofi Apia. Me that is all joining here. Augustine, thank you so much. So joining Augustine. Jedazi TV, thank you so much for joining. Is it Ja Omi? Thank you so much for joining. Benny, thank you so much. Andrew. Inti Aboaje Evans Atta, big shout out to Kofi Midase Kwame Kusi, thank you so much for joining. Jones Breford Midase, so joining here. Queen Equia, thank you so much for joining. Is he Roddy Ando, thank you so much for joining. Nana Usu Midase Mame, big shout out to you. Collins K or say big shout out to Mamu joining. Class ni nyina na medam say how so many information there koso nyina ya drop videos we so best drop video one mo share na brand na me need din komo mo follow yan on YouTube there you know me need din komo no Germany na o ka se de chinka say nyina o ka so be Ghana mo for say o ka sa ba Ghana me mo ko tie ansem o kan follow on YouTube obe hu more o follow yan so Facebook follow yan YouTube me adoma no so na click videos no be say videos no do so pa me we are another video betu madam say some share FM DJ nyame madam production team say subscribe to your channel for more and link up share mo kroma onim de obeka then obeka
living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa on-demand services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.